Good afternoon. This is Michael Mitchell with Madison County Weather Updates, and I want to talk a little bit about kind of the differences in data for this coming weekend and for the end of next week. This is going to be a fast video. I'm not going to go in depth. I just want to show you the differences in data. So what we're looking at here is a National Weather Service blend of models. It's kind of a blend of several different models put together. And we can see the kind of dip that we expect over the weekend where our highs will be, in the upper 30s or so. And then by the end of next week, we could be into the 50s. That's National Weather Service blend of models. And that's kind of what I've been expecting, but not all data agrees. Here's a look at the GFS, and the GFS also is pretty bullish on getting up into the 50s next week. There's something else the GFS has below this that we'll touch on here in just a minute. But the big difference comes when we look at the European. The European has decided on a backdoor kind of cold front that would be settling in, and this cold air is just setting just to our north, kind of our northwest and our north. And so the European is wanting to sag that in here, kind of like what kept happening to us at times in November and a couple of times in December, where we would just get these backdoor cold fronts from the north and northeast. So while for the moment I'll continue to anticipate that we warm up into the lower 50s the end of next week, we'll keep an open mind toward what the European is showing, because that cold air boundary will be close enough that we just can't rule it out. Now here's another big difference in the data just for the weekend, really for Sunday. I've had a chance of light snowfall in my forecast for Sunday morning all week, really since Sunday came into the forecast. Here's what the European is kicking out for us. It's basically got no real snowfall anywhere in Indiana. It's got some, maybe ½ inch to an inch snowfall over in parts of Ohio. I do think that's too far east, and I think it's too narrow, but that's what the European has. This just came into the window of the NAM. The NAM has a little heavier snow band over in parts of Ohio. It maybe goes up to an inch or two in parts of Ohio and keeps us around a dusting to maybe a ½ an inch of snow on Sunday. And I think what it's got over Indiana is pretty reasonable. Again, I think the little heavier band might be a little farther west, but that's what the NAM has. Again, this is the first run that this has been inside of the NAM's 84-hour window. Then we get the GFS. The GFS is farther west, which I think is actually correct, but it's really heavy, and it is giving Madison County kind of a 2 to 3 inch snowfall again. So it's got 2 inches in Indianapolis and almost 5 in Muncie, and then it's got heavier snowfall farther in eastern Indiana and over into Ohio, where it's given some areas 6 and 7 inches of snow. So is the GFS onto something? I don't know. I think the location is probably correct for the snowfall, and the coverage is probably correct for the snowfall. The amounts are highly in question. So we'll keep an eye on this wave as things develop. We'll see how things look tomorrow, but I just wanted to show you the differences in the data, both in temperatures for next week and in snowfall just in the short term. And I don't forecast by the models, but one of the things I'm finding is a good thing to show them to you is that it does show you that, as some people like to criticize forecasters for not hitting storms all the time, not getting them exactly right, these are computer models that have been set up, and they run literally quadrillions of calculations, and they don't just do it one time. Like the GFS runs 31 different runs, the European runs 51 different runs, and with all kinds of different outcomes in them. And if those models have a hard time seeing things the same within a short window, and that's a high-powered computer, then be careful being too critical when we can't figure out what's going to happen in literally a 2,000-foot thick layer of atmosphere out of over 50,000 feet of atmosphere. We're trying to pin down what happens in a 2,000 foot thick layer of the atmosphere and what happens just below that, and make a snowfall forecast. And again, these high-powered computers struggle to do that. So keep that in mind. And we'll see how things look tomorrow. And we'll have a good idea on the satellite how that wave is going to work out. And I will update you tomorrow. This is Micah Mitchell with the Madison County Weather Updates. Have a great day.